I can say about the iPhone 16e and the Pixel 9a is that these definitely don't feel like budget phones. In fact, they're probably not, at least for the iPhone 16e. If you take a look at the pricing, the most expensive version of the iPhone 16e with 512 gigs of storage is $900. That's a pretty expensive budget phone if you ask me. Now with the Pixel 9a, you could say it's a budget phone. It's cheaper, it only has 8 gigs of RAM, but it still feels pretty advanced. It has the 6.3-inch actual display and peak brightness goes up to 2700 nits, like on the Pixel 9 and Pixel 9 Pro and Pro Fold. It also has over 30 hours of battery life, which we'll get into later. But let's just call them what they are, budget phones. Both phones utilize the same AI chips and capabilities as their flagship variants. But which phone is the best deal? Who has more to offer in terms of battery life, performance, camera, and durability? By the end of this video, hopefully I can help you gain an idea of which phone you may like the best. Now, the biggest thing for any budget phone is the price, of course. The price for the Pixel 9a is about $300 cheaper than the classic Pixel 9, and it still has Gemini and all of the AI features you can want in a Pixel phone. Then you have the base model iPhone 16e with 256 gigs of RAM, which is just $200 cheaper than the iPhone 16 and a little bit more expensive than the Pixel 9a. Battery for battery, the Pixel 9a sweeps the iPhone 16e. It has a maximum battery life that exceeds the regular Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, and Pro XL at 5,100 milliampere hours. I feel like both companies are really blurring the line between budget and flagship in terms of quality, but that's not a bad thing at all. Camera specs between the 16e and the Pixel 9a are pretty much the same. The only differences are layout. Apple decided to go with a 2-in-1 camera system which combines a 48 megapixel fusion lens and a 12 megapixel telephoto with 2x optical zoom. It still supports 4K video with Dolby Vision, so that's great. Pixel on the other hand went with a side-by-side dual camera system with a 48 megapixel main camera and a 13 megapixel telephoto lens. The iPhone 16e has amazing camera stabilization for great video and picture quality. Plus the 16e makes images brighter and more vibrant. On the other hand, the Google Pixel 9a is more accurate with realistic color and lighting, but side by side not too much of a difference. However, this is just a comparison of raw footage. When it comes to overall picture/video taking experience, it goes to the Pixel 9a. Magic Editor, Best Take, Add Me, and even Macro Focus enhances the photo taking experience far beyond the iPhone 16e. Design wise, you won't get much out of either phone. Most budget phones tend to have a more boring look. I mean, there are less cameras and there's no visor on the Pixel 9a, so you'll just get this flat, simple design. But they both have an IP68 rating, meaning they're fully protected against dust and can sustain a maximum depth of 6 meters of water for up to 30 minutes. Now, in the past, I compared the new Apple Intelligence Siri with Galaxy's Bixby, which is now replaced with Gemini. They still work kind of similar, but now you can do more things with Gemini and Gemini Live. Siri on one hand is more personalized and she's extremely efficient when it comes to bringing up relevant and accurate information, especially with the visual intelligence which combines the AI behind Siri and ChatGPT, making her twice as accurate, more productive. But Gemini on the other hand can handle more tasks. It's more integrated with your background apps and on-device information than Siri, and probably more advanced in terms of natural language processing, especially with Gemini Live being a thing. Google AI and its ability to edit photos and videos are more superior than the iPhone 16e, but on a creativity aspect, Genmoji is carrying Apple Intelligence. I've used Genmoji a couple of times to make some cool emojis and it works pretty well, but it's very limited on what prompts you can use. And Image Playground is just Pixel Studio, but kind of worse. You know, it gets to a point where I can't always just bring up the Apple ecosystem in every comparison, but you really can't argue against it. Apple's ecosystem is still top notch, but the 16e, although it's cheaper, camera stabilization is better, the Pixel 9a is $100 cheaper, it has more accurate light and color depictions, and its AI is arguably a bit better than Apple Intelligence. Also, the performance is better. The Tensor chip in the Google Pixel 9a has way more performance cores than what's inside of this iPhone 16e because of the type of A18 chip in the E. That also means the 16e is weaker than the base 16, 16 Pro, and 16 Pro Max phones. So if I were to say there was a winner here, it would probably be the Pixel 9a. But if you still want Apple Intelligence and want that Apple ecosystem, then hey, maybe the iPhone 16 will be a good choice for you. Well, that concludes this video. If you gained some insight and enjoyed the video, please drop a like and comment down below which phone you prefer, the iPhone 16e or the Pixel 9a. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.